souls outside my sycamore tree sing Lord, a green willow. Her hand on her bosom, her head on her knee, sing willow, willow, willow. The fresh streams ran by her, and murmur, sing willow, willow, willow. The soft is her sunburn, soften the stone, sing willow, willow, willow. Ready, hidey, you come on, sing all the green willow must be my darling. Let nobody blame in this scorn I uproot.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge, second week of April. We actually did return last week. There was apparently some confusion. A lot of people thought that we weren't returning until today, and so we did have a Wheel of Shakespeare round last Saturday, but there weren't as many people. I'm glad to see we've got a large group with us again today. Myself, John, Robert, Shilia, Danielle, Bill, Henry, and Maggie are all with us right now, ready to perform some Shakespeare. Before we start, I wanted to mention, I emailed the people on this list. I don't know if you guys got it. I know it's really short notice, the possibility of it, but I just like the idea of on this YouTube channel doing other readings of theater. I mean, the idea with the Wheel of Shakespeare, of course, is the randomness, the not prepared. But I've done it before. We did it with the adding machine. A couple people from here, and also some people from Eager Beaver participated in that. And I haven't gotten around to doing another one of those, mostly because I was overwhelmed by doing a full length one. But some shorter plays might be good for this. And I did mention choosing something relevant to the holiday. I thought for tomorrow, for Easter, just like we did the adding machine for Labor Day, I was thinking one of the medieval miracle plays about the resurrection. I sent that out to you. I have right now we don't have enough people to do it. Henry had expressed an interest. So did a couple other people from Eager Beaver. But I just wanted to mention the people that had possibly been interested. I will let you guys know in a couple hours if enough people express an interest. But if you are possibly interested, please email me. Let me know. We'll see if we get enough people to do that. And that would be a fun activity for us to do tomorrow as well, theater related and connected to the holiday. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get started at this point based on the randomly chosen order. In advance, we have our first monologue will be done by Bill, then John is on deck after Bill. Let me get the wheel up here, and we'll spin for Bill and then John. Okay, so here we go. Here's the wheel spinning for Bill. Bill is going to perform. The Porter, knock knock.
Act.
Yeah,
Scene one. Okay.
Scene one.
Scene one. Really?
You what'd you say?
I'm at Act 3, Scene 1. I don't see the porter.
Maybe it's. Oh, you know what? That's not right. I must mislabel it. Let's see.
It's Act 2, Scene 3.
Okay, I better fix that. Okay, so you did find it, thankfully, even though I made the mistake. But glad you got it. We're ready to see you whenever you're ready. Go ahead.
Mark, can you be the sound effects man?
I hadn't thought of that. Let me try. Let's see how I can put. Let's see, maybe.
Just bang something.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how I can. I want you to be featured. I figure out how I get. How I get you in this. Just.
Well, I'll do it if it's too technically challenging.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, can you still hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I finally found the setting where I can have you be featured, but you can still hear me, because I can take my it's hard for me to figure out how to do the taking my face out without taking the sound out as well. So okay, if you're ready, I'll go ahead.
Ready. It was a knocking indeed. If a man were porter of Hellgate, he should have old turning the key. Oh, knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Oh, here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time, have napkins enow about you. Here, you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock. Who is there in the other devil's name? Faith. Here's an equivocator that could swear in both the scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Faith. Here's an English tailor come hither for stealing out of a French hose. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock. Never a quiet. What are you but... This place is too cold for hell. I'll devil porter it no further. I had thought to let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Non, I pray you. Remember the porter. Scene.
Okay, awesome. Was it? Probably shouldn't have agreed to be your sound effect because that upsets the dog.
Oh, I'm sorry. That worked for me. Thank you.
I realized I forgot that, but it did definitely add to the scene despite upsetting Chloe. Okay, so John, you're up next. And you will perform. Now is the winter of our discontent.
Okay.
And Danielle is on deck. She'll go after John does.
Okay. This will be a memory challenge, but I want to get it up there just in case. I haven't done that in quite a long time, so just give me a second to do that, please.
Of course.
Home page. Richard III. I'm not going to look at it, though. I hope. I don't think I need to. But I haven't done it in so long, you know. Let me see here. Where are you, Richard? For crying out loud! Where is Richard? Okay, I got it.
Okay, whenever you're going to go ahead.
I forgot he was a history. Oh, okay. So it's act. That's the beginning. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. Now is the winter of our discontent. Made glorious summer by this son of York. and all the clouds that lured upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up on monuments, our stern alarums changed to merry meetings, our dreadful marches to delightful measures. Grim-visaged war hath smoothed his wrinkled front, and now, instead of mounting barbed steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber to the lascivious pleasing of a lute. But I, that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking glass, I, who am rudely stamped and want love's majesty to strut before a wanton ambling nymph, I, that am curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me as I halt by them. Why, I, in this weak piping time of peace, have no delight to pass away the time, unless to spy my shadow in the sun and descant on mine own deformity. Therefore, since I cannot, what's that therefore? And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these fair, well-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain and to hate the idle pleasures of these days. Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous, by drunken prophecies, libels, and dreams, to set my brother Clarence and the king in deadly hate the one against the other. And if King Edward be as true and just as I am subtle, false, and treacherous, this day should Clarence closely be mewed up about a prophecy which says that G of Edward's heirs the murderer shall be. Dive thoughts down to my soul. Here Clarence comes. Scene.
Okay, awesome. So Danielle is up next, and then Henry is on deck. We'll go after her. Welcome back, Danielle. Good to see you.
Yeah, lovely to be back.
You will be doing Julia, Oh Hateful Hands, The Gentleman of Verona, Act 1, Scene 2. That's the end of the scene.
1, 2. Oh, Hateful Hands. Right.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Thank you. Oh, hateful hands, to tear such loving words, injurious wasps to feed on such sweet honey, and kill the bees that yield it with your stings. I'll kiss each several paper for amends. Look, here is writ, kind Julia, unkind Julia. As in revenge of thy ingratitude, I throw thy name against the bruising stones, trampling contemptuously on thy disdain. Oh, and here is writ, love-wounded Proteus. Oh, poor wounded name, my bosom, as a bed, shall lodge thee till thy wound be thoroughly healed. And thus I search thee with a sovereign kiss, but thrice or Twice was Proteus written down. Oh, no, be calm, good wind, blow not a word away, till I have found each letter in the letter, except mine own name. That some whirlwind bear unto a ragged, fearful, hanging rock, and throw it thence into the raging sea. Lo, here in one line is his name writ twice. Poor forlorn Proteus, passionate Proteus, to the sweet Julia, that I'll tear away. And yet, oh, no, I will not. So prettily, he couples it to his complaining names. Thus will I fold them one on another. Now, kiss, embrace, contend. Do what you will. Scene.
Okay, awesome. So Henry is up. Robert is on deck after Henry. Well, Henry, you will be coming. I hit Rago. I hit the more. That's on scene 3 at the end.
I love this speech.
Yeah, great one. Just let me know when you're ready, and I'll take myself out of the stream.
Oh. Have I got the right scene? I can't find it. 1 scene 3, or was it 3 scene 1?
Act 1, scene 3, the end. Just that when Rodrigo exits.
Oh. Oh, it starts, thus do I ever make a fool?
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
Do I ever make my fool my purse? So whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Thus do I ever make my fool my purse. For I mine own gained knowledge should profane if I would time expend with such a snipe, but for my sport and profit. I hate the more. And it is thought abroad that twixt my sheets he has done my office. I know not if it be true, but I, for mere suspicion in that kind, will do as if for surety. He holds me well, the better shall my purpose work on him. Cassio's a proper man. Let me see now. To get his place and to plume up my will in double knavery. How? Let's see. After some time, to abuse Othello's ear that he is too familiar with his wife. He hath a person and a smooth disposed to be suspected, framed to make women false. The more is of a free and open nature that thinks men honest that but seem to be so, and will as tenderly be led by the nose as asses are. I have it. It is engendered. Hell and night must bring this monstrous birth to the world's light.
Okay, awesome. So we have Robert up next. I am on deck. We'll go after him. But first, Robert is going to do... Lay down.
Okay.
Richard III.
So we're back to Richard.
Yeah, back to Richard.
Okay. 1, 2. Okay, so this is the opening of the scene. Set down, your honorable load.
So whenever you go ahead.
Set down. Set down, your honorable load. If honor may be shrouded in a hearse, whilst I awhile obsequiously lament the untimely fall of virtuous Lancaster. Poor, key cold figure of a holy king, pale ashes of the house of Lancaster, thou bloodless remnant of that royal blood. Be it lawful that I invocate thy ghost to hear the lamentations of poor Anne, wife to thy Edward, to thy slaughtered son, stabbed by the selfsame hand that made these wounds. Lo, in these windows that let forth thy life, I pour the helpless balm of my poor eyes. Cursed be the hand that made these holes. Cursed be the heart that had the heart to do it. Cursed the blood that let this blood from hence. More direful hap betide that hated wretch that makes us wretched by the death of thee, than I can wish to adders, spiders, toads, or any creeping, venomed thing that lives. If ever he have child, abortive be it, prodigious and untimely brought to light, whose ugly and unnatural aspect may fright the helpful mother at the view, and that be heir to his unhappiness. If ever he have wife, let her be made as miserable by the death of him as I am made by my poor lord and thee. Come now towards Chertsey with your holy load, taken from Paul's to be interred there. And still as you are weary of the weight, rest you, whiles I lament King Henry's course. Scene.
Okay. Great performance, great passion. However, a little bit unfortunate that, and Danielle commented on this on the chat while you were performing, that it's unfortunate the banner was kind of blocking your face. She asked if I could make the banner any smaller. I can't. It's kind of set by StreamYard. But that's one thing I wanted to mention kind of to you and really to everybody, that, if you can see yourself, try to be conscious of that, because that framing, so that, how you position, you change your screen and so forth, so that, backup or whatever it is.
I think I was letting my face get too low.
Yeah, because I mean, it's interesting how this is valuable, I think, for actors to participate in the days where self-tape auditions are so increasingly a thing, that auditioning on self, and then increasingly even the callback is on Zoom and so forth. The value of our performances often is overshadowed by how good a job do we do of knowing, are we framing it just in our phone for a self-tape? How are we framing ourselves? So it's a skill to practice, and hey, Wheel of Shakespeare can be one additional way to practice that, as well as the quality of our performances, because like it or not, that's increasingly becoming a thing that we actors have to deal with in our auditions. So just something to be conscious of. Yeah, I wish I could make the banner a little bit smaller so it's less likely to block people's faces, but just that's a message to everybody. And Robert's new. I think I mentioned it to him before that we should all be conscious of where the banner is. See that we're in the frame. See that we're not just that we're in the frame, but that we're not positioned so that the banner is blocking our face and we can't see your awesome performances. So anyway, it is my turn now, and spinning the wheel for myself, I'm going to be doing. And Sheila, you are on deck. You'll go after me. Okay, you're glad the Dauphin is great. We are glad the Dauphin is so pleasant with us. His presence and your pains we thank you for. When we have matched our rackets to these balls, we will in France, by God's grace, play a set. Shall strike his father's crown into a hazard. Tell him he hath made a match with such a wrangler that all the courts of France will be disturbed. With chases. And we understand him well. Now he comes o'er us with our wilder days, not measuring what use we made of them. We never valued this poor seat of England, and therefore, living hence, did give oneself to barbarous license, as 'tis ever common that men are merriest when they are far from home. But tell the Dauphin, I will keep my state, be like a king, and throw my sail of greatness, when I do rouse me in my throne of France. For that I have laid by my majesty and plotted like a man for working days, but I will rise there with so full a glory that I will dazzle all the eyes of France, yea, strike the Dauphin blind to look on us. And tell the pleasant prince, this mock of his hath turned his balls to gunstones, and his soul shall stand sore charged for the wasteful vengeance that shall fly with him. For many 1,000 widows shall this his mock out of their dear husbands, mock mothers from their sons, mock castles down, and some are yet ungotten and unborn, that shall have cause to curse the Dauphin's scorn. But this all lies withal the will of God, to whom I do appeal, and in whose name tell you the Dauphin I am coming on, to venge me as I may, and to put forth my rightful hand in a well-hollowed course. So get you hence in peace, and tell the Dauphin his jest will savour but of sallow wit, when thousands weep more than did laugh at it. Convey them with safe conduct. Fare you well. Okay, Sheila is up next, and Maggie, you're on deck. You'll go.
I'm pink again.
Oh.
I have a new camera. I'm very pink, and there's nothing I can do. So we'll just go in there.
Okay, so Sheila's monologue will be.
Oh, the challenges of technology.
Now the speech.
Oh dear. I've done this recently. Could we do a different one? Would you mind? I do like Mercutio, but oh, okay.
Okay, Countess, what angel shall bless this unworthy husband?
2-4?
All's well that ends well.
2-4 it says, right?
Act 3, Scene 4.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I obviously need glasses too. Okay. Alrighty, I'm ready.
Okay.
What angel shall bless this unworthy husband? He cannot thrive unless her prayers, whom heaven delights to hear and loves to grant, reprieve him from the wrath of greatest justice. Right, Rinaldo, to this unworthy husband of his wife. Let every word weigh heavy of her worth that he does weigh too light. My greatest grief, though little he do feel it. Sit down sharply. Dispatch the most convenient messenger. When haply he shall hear that she is gone, he will return. And hope I may that she, hearing so much, will speed her foot again, led hither by pure love. Which of them both is dearest to me? I have no skill and sense to make distinction. Provide this messenger. My heart is heavy, and mine age is weak. Grief would have tears, and sorrow bid me speak.
Okay. Awesome. So we have one more monologue, and then we'll start our scenes. Maggie will be our last monologue, and then she'll get the first choice of the roles and the scenes. You will be doing Beatrice. What fire is in mine ears.
Is that the first line?
Yes, that is the first. It's the end of the Act 3, Scene 1. It's the very end of the scene after the people being accidentally on purpose overheard have left.
Yeah, I just usually go straight to the monologue page. It's teeny tiny. It's only like 15 lines. Is that about right?
I think so. Yeah, it's a shorter one.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
Okay. Awesome. So for our scenes, we got 8 people. We're back to a good sized group. So back to and starting with a larger scene that I pre-decide, plus a couple more that are determined by the wheel. A slightly larger scene I decided to go with that gives roles for 4 of us, and then we'll spin for the other 4 roles. I'm thinking Henry the Fourth, Part 1, Act 3, Scene 3, in the Boar's Head Tavern. We've done several times. The one early on where it's Hal and Falstaff. This is later on in the play where Hal is finally starting to change his ways and shows up and tries to recruit Falstaff and he shows his cowardice and the battle to come. Preceding the honors of your escutcheon monologue that we've done a few times in here. This is the scene that starts with Bardolph and Falstaff are, insulting each other. Then Mistress quickly comes in, and then Hal comes in and says, "I've, made up with my father. I've recruited an army, and I've chosen you to lead a regiment," and so forth. Which Falstaff, of course, is trying to get out of. So those 4 roles: Bardolph, Falstaff, Mistress Quickly, and Prince Hal. And then we'll spin for the other ones. And by the way, if you're having trouble finding that, excuse me. If it's the online edition that I've been suggesting, the MIT Shakespeare, it is a mess up there under Henry the Fourth, Part 1. It doesn't have Act 3, Scene 3. It has Act 3, Scene 2. But if you scroll down, it puts them onto the same file, even though they're supposed to be separate pages. So you will find that there. So that's the one scene. Let's spin the wheel to get a couple more for everybody. So 12th Night, Viola and Festi the Clown in 3.1. And Hamlet and Polonius. I think this is the words. Okay, so those are the 8 roles for the 8 of us. Oh, just once again, Henry the Fourth, Part 1, Act 3, Scene 3, Bardolph, Falstaff, Mistress Quickly, and Prince Hal. 12th Night, Act 3, Scene 1, Viola and Festi the Clown. Hamlet, Act 2, Scene 2, Hamlet and Polonius. So Maggie gets the first choice amongst those roles. What would you like?
Hamlet. And if I get the chance, I'm going to take him.
Okay, of course. Second, Sheila has the second choice. What would you like?
Ooh, I want to be Polonius to Maggie's Hamlet.
Okay, perfect. And then, okay, Maggie and Sheila will do Hamlet and Polonius. I got to take Falstaff. I'll take Falstaff. Robert, what would you like?
Let's see. Excuse me just a moment. I'll take Bardolph.
Bardolph, okay. Henry's up next choice. Henry, what would you like?
Viola.
Danielle, what would you like?
I'll take the clown with Viola. Festi.
Okay. So we have Mistress Quickly and Prince Hal are the 2 that are left. John can choose between those 2. John,
I thought I was last. Okay, wait. Say those two again. I'm sorry.
Mistress Quickly or Prince Hal.
Prince Hal.
Okay. And then that leaves Bill to be Mistress Quickly. Now, I'll make sure everybody has found it, because I mentioned that I have that the edition that I'm looking at online has it says Act 3, Scene 2 starts with the scene with the King and Prince Henry, and then even though it should be a separate page, you scroll down the next scene where, based on that, Hal is going to encounter his old friends at the Boar's Head Tavern. Scene 3 starts with, I'll take the other two out. It starts with just Falstaff and Bardolph are on stage. Starts with Bardolph, am I not fallen away vilely since this last action? All four of you found where we are, where to start from?
Excuse me, no, I haven't. I'm still not clear. Can we get this on MIT or no? We can't get it on MIT?
Well, I'm saying MIT, you can, but it's Act 3, Scene 3. But they cut that off. You have to go to Act 3, Scene 2, and then you scroll down. They put Scene 3 in the same file as 2.
Oh, okay, all right. So what is the action scene then? Sorry, I'm a little slow on the tape.
Act 3, Scene 3.
I don't see. Oh, so there is no Act 3, Scene 3. So then I scroll down where?
Go to Act 3, Scene 2, and just scroll down. They put it into the same page.
Oh, okay, so Act 3, Scene 2. Oh, I see. And then go down. And where does it start again, please?
Starts with Bardolph, am I not fallen away vilely since this last action? East Cheek the Boar's Head Tap. You found that?
No, not quite. Not yet. Say it once again, please. I'm sorry.
Bardolph, am I not fallen away vilely since this last action?
Okay. I went all the way to the bottom, so now I got to go back up. Bardolph. Say it one more time, please. Sir John, you are so fretful? No.
That will be your, that's Bardolph's line responding to that, but Falstaff has a short speech before that.
Okay.
Okay, okay, great. So it starts, I'm going to take Bill and John out. They come in later. It starts with just Falstaff and Bardolph in the scene. So, okay, we're ready to go. Bardolph, am I not fallen away vilely since this last action? Do I not bate? Do I not dwindle? My skin hangs about me like an old lady's loose gown. I am withered like an old apple, John. Well, I repent, and that suddenly, while I am in some liking, I shall be out of heart shortly, and then I shall have no strength to repent. And I have not forgotten what the inside of a church is made of. I am a peppercorn, a brewer's horse, the inside of a church. Company, villainous company, hath been a spoil of me.
Sir John, you are so fretful. You cannot live long.
Why, there is it. Come sing me a bawdy song, make me merry. I was as virtuous given as a gentleman need to be. Virtuous enough, swore little, diced not above 7 times a week, went to a bawdy house once in a quarter of an hour, paid money that I borrowed 3 or 4 times, lived well and in good compass. And now live I out of all order, out of all compass.
But you are so fat, Sir John, that you must needs be out of all compass, out of all reasonable compass, Sir John.
Do thou amend thy face, and I'll amend my life. Thou art our admiral, dost bearest the lantern in the poop, but 'tis in the nose of thee. Thou art the knight of the burning lamp.
Why, Sir John, my face does you no harm.
No, I'll be sworn. I make as good use of it as many a man doth of death's head, or a memento mori. I never see thy face, but I think upon hellfire, and Dives that lived in purple. For there he is in his robes, burning, burning. If thou wert any way given to virtue, I would swear by thy face. My oath should be, by this fire, that's God's angel. But thou art altogether given over, and wert indeed, but for the light in thy face, the sun of utter darkness. When thou ramst up Gad's Hill in the night to catch my horse, if I did not think thou hadst been an ignis fatuus or a ball of wildfire, there's no purchase in money. Oh, thou art a perpetual triumph, an everlasting bonfire light. Thou hast saved me 1,000 marks in links and torches, walking with thee in the night betwixt tavern and tavern. But the sack that thou hast drunk me would have bought my lights as good cheap as the dearest chandlers in Europe. I maintain that salamander of yours with fire any time this 32 years. God reward me for it.
The blood, I would my face were in your belly.
God a mercy. So should I be at heart burned. How now, Dame Partlet the hen? Have you inquired who picked my pocket?
Why, Sir John? What do you think, Sir John? Do you think I keep thieves in my house? I have searched, I have inquired, so has my husband, man by man, boy by boy, servant by servant. The tithe of a hair was never lost in my house before.
Ye lie, hostess. Bardolph has shaved and lost many a hair, and I'll be sworn my pocket was picked. Go to. You are a woman, go.
Who? I? No, I defy thee, God's light. I was never called so in mine own house before.
Go to, I know you well enough.
No, Sir John, you do not know me. Sir John, I know you, Sir John. You owe me money, Sir John, and now you pick a quarrel to beguile me of it. I bought you a dozen of shirts to your back.
Doubtless, filthy doubtless. I've given them away to bakers' wives, and they have made bolters of them.
Now, as I am a true woman, Holland of 8 shillings an ell, you owe money here besides, Sir John, for your diet and by-drinkings, and money lent you, 24 pound.
He had his part of it. Let him pay.
He? Alas, he is poor. He hath nothing.
How? Poor? Look upon his face. What call you rich? Let them coin his nose. Let them coin his cheeks. I'll not pay a denier. What? Will you make a Junker of me? Shall I not take mine case and mine in, but I shall have my pocket picked? I have lost a seal ring of my grandfather's worth 40 mark.
Oh, Jesu, I've heard the prince tell him I know not how oft that ring was copper.
How? The prince is a jack, a sneak cup, 's blood, and he were. I would cudgel him like a dog if he would say so. How now, lad? Is the wind in that door? In faith, must we all match?
Yea, 2 and 2. Newgate fashion.
My lord, I pray you hear me.
What sayest thou, Mistress Quickly? How doth thy husband? I love him well. He is an honest man.
Good my lord, hear me.
Prithee, let her alone and list to me.
What sayest thou, Jack?
The other night I fell asleep here behind the arras and had my pocket picked. This house is turned bawdy house. They pick pockets.
What didst thou lose, Jack?
Wilt thou believe me, Hal? 3 or 4 bonds of 40 pound apiece, and a seal ring of my grandfather's.
A trifle, some 8-penny matter.
So I told him, my lord, and I said, I heard your grace say so, and my lord, he speaks most vilely of you. like a foul-mouthed man as he is, and said he would cudgel you.
What? He did not?
There's neither faith, truth, nor womanhood in me else.
There's no more faith in thee than in a steward prune, nor no more truth in thee than in a drawn fox. And for womanhood, Maid Marian may be the deputy's wife of the ward to thee. Go, you thing, go.
Say, what thing? What thing?
What thing? Why, a thing to thank God on.
I am no thing to thank God on. I would thou shouldst know it. I am an honest man's wife, and setting thy knighthood aside, thou art a knave to call me so.
Setting thy womanhood aside, thou art a beast to say otherwise.
Say, what beast, thou knave, thou?
What beast? Why, an otter.
An otter, Sir John. Why an otter?
Why, she's neither fish nor flesh. A man knows not where to have her.
Thou art an unjust man in saying so. Thou or any man knows where to have me? Thou knave, thou?
Thou sayest true, hostess, and he slanders thee most grossly.
So he doth you, my lord, and said this other day you ought him £1,000.
Sirrah, do I owe you £1,000?
£1,000? Ha! 1,000,000! Thy love is worth 1,000,000. Thou owest me thy love.
Nay, my lord, he called you Jack, and said he would cudgel you.
Did I, Bardolph?
Indeed, Sir John, you said so.
Yea, if he had said my ring was copper.
I say 'tis copper. Darest thou be as good as thy word now?
Why, how? Thou knowest, as thou art but man, I dare. But as thou art prince, I fear thee, as I fear the roaring of a lion's whelp.
And why not as the lion?
The king is to be feared as the lion. Dost thou think I'll fear thee as I fear thy father? Nay, and I do, I pray God my girdle break.
Oh, if it should, how would thy guts fall about thy knees? But, sirrah, there's no room for faith, truth, nor honesty in this bosom of thine. It is all filled up with guts and midriff. Charge an honest woman with picking thy pocket. Why, thou whoreson, impudent, embossed rascal? If there were anything in thy pocket but tavern reckonings, memorandums of bawdy houses, and 1 poor penny worth of sugar candy to make thee long-winded, if thy pocket were enriched with any other injuries but these, I am a villain. And yet you will stand to if. You will not pocket up the wrong. Art thou not ashamed?
Dost thou hear, Hal? Thou knowest in the state of innocency Adam fell. And what should poor Jack Falstaff do in the days of villainy? Now seest I have more flesh than another man, and therefore more frailty. You confess, then, you picked my pocket?
It appears so by the story.
Hostess, I forgive thee. Go. Make ready breakfast. Love thy husband. Look to thy servants. Cherish thy guests. Thou shalt find me tractable to any honest reason. Now seest I am pacified still. Now prithee be gone. Now, Hal, to the news at court. For the robbery, lad. How is that answered?
Oh, my sweet thief, I must still be good angel to thee. The money is paid back again.
Oh, I do not like that paying back. 'Tis a double labor.
I am good friends with my father and may do anything.
Rob me the exchequer, the first thing thou doest, and do it with unwashed hands, too.
Do, my lord.
I have procured thee, Jack, a charge of foot.
I would it had been of horse. Where shall I find one that can steal well? Oh, for a fine thief of the age of 22 or thereabouts, I am heinously unprovided. Well, God be thanked for these rebels. They offered none but the virtuous. I laud them. I prayed to them.
Bardo,
My lord?
go bear this letter to Lord John of Lancaster, to my brother John. This is to my Lord of Westmoreland. Go, Peto, to horse, for thou and I have 30 miles to ride yet ere dinner time. Jack, meet me tomorrow in the Temple Hall at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There shalt thou know thy charge, and there receive money and order for their furniture. The land is burning. Percy stands on high, and either we or they must lower lie.
Rare words. Brave world. Hostess, my breakfast come. Oh, I wish this tavern were my drum. Okay, that was a lot of fun. Don't know why I never thought to include that one before. I hope everybody had fun with that as well as. So anyway, next up we have our 12th night scene. We have Viola and Festi the Clown. Let me create the banner for that, and I'll put Henry and Danielle in. Henry and Danielle. Okay, great. So you two are both ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, go for it.
Save thee, friend, and thy music. Dost thou live by thy tabor?
No, sir, I live by the church.
Oh, art thou a churchman?
No such matter, sir. I do live by the church, for I do live at my house, and my house doth stand by the church.
So might they say, the king lies by a beggar if a beggar dwell near him. Or the church stands by thy tabor if thy tabor stand by the church.
You have said it, sir. To see this age, a sentence is but a cheverel glove to a good wit. How quickly the wrong side may be turned outward.
Nay, that's certain. They that dally nicely with words may quickly make them wanton.
I would therefore my sister had no name, sir.
Why, man?
Aye, sir, her name's a word, and to dally with that word might make my sister wanton. But indeed, words are very rascals, since bonds disgraced them.
I reason, man.
Troth, sir, I can yield you none without words. And words are grown so false, I am loath to prove reason with them.
I warrant thou art a merry fellow, and carest for nothing.
Not so, sir, I do care for something. But in my conscience, sir, I do not care for you. If that be to care for nothing, sir, I would it would make you invisible.
Oh, art thou not the lady of Olivia's fool?
No, indeed, sir, the Lady Olivia has no folly. She will keep no fool, sir, till she be married. And fools are as like husbands as pilchards are to herrings. The husband's the bigger. I'm indeed not her fool, but her corrupter of words.
I saw thee late at the Count Orsino's.
Foolery, sir, does walk about the orb like the sun. It shines everywhere. I would be sorry, sir, but the fool should be as oft with your master as with my mistress. I think I saw your wisdom there.
Nay, and thou pass upon me. I'll no more with thee. Hold, here's expenses for thee.
Now Jove in his next commodity of hair send thee a beard.
By my troth, I tell thee, I'm almost sick for one, though I would not have it grow on my chin. Is thy lady within?
Would not a pair of these have bread, sir?
Yes, being kept together and put to use.
I would play Lord Pandarus of Phrygia, sir, to bring a Cressida to this Troilus.
I understand you, sir. 'Tis well begged.
The matter, I hope, is not great, sir, begging but a beggar. Cressida was a beggar. My lady is within, sir. I will construe to them whence you come. Who you are and what you would are out of my welkin. I might say element, but the word is overworn.
This fellow is wise enough to play the fool, and to do that well craves a kind of wit. He must observe their mood on whom he jests, the quality of persons and the time, and like the haggard check at every feather that comes before his eye. This is a precise as full of labour as a wise man's art, for folly that he wisely shows is fit. But wise men, folly fallen, quite taint their wit.
Okay, nice, you two. Okay, so we'll finish up our round of Wheel of Shakespeare today with the Hamlet and Polonius scene. And let's see, we have Maggie and Sheila are doing that.
Yes.
Okay, so you both are found your
Yep.
place. You're ready to start. Okay, so ready? Go ahead.
Oh, how does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God a mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
Aye, sir. To be honest, as this world goes, is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That's very true, my lord.
For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being a god-kissing carrion, have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter? Yet he knew me not at first. He said I was a fishmonger. He is far gone, far gone. And truly, in my youth I suffered much extremity for love. Very near this. I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words, words, words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Oh, slander, sir. For the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes purging thick amber and plum tree gum, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hams. All which, sir, though I most powerfully and potently believe, yet I hold it not honesty to have it thus sat down, for yourself, sir, should be as old as I am, if, like a crab, you could go backwards.
Though this be madness, yet there is method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that is out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. A happiness that often madness hits on, which reason and sanity could not so prosperously be delivered of. I will leave him, and suddenly contrive the means of meeting between him and my daughter. My honorable lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I will more willingly part withal, except my life, except my life, except my life.
Fare you well, my lord.
Oh, these tedious old fools.
Okay, that was awesome. I really like that. It's a one that we changed the gender of both characters, and you both nonetheless made it work just amazingly. That's one I might save to post separately on YouTube.
I couldn't tell if my book was showing up or not.
It was. It was perfect. In terms of I mentioned already before today that's an important skill to performances of not just how well you do, but how well do you frame yourself. But
yeah, I was trying to make sure.
I mean, it wasn't too high to block your face, but it wasn't too low that we could like barely see it at the end, which was perfect. See just enough.
I also like that the banner drops below both frames, so you don't have to worry about the banner across the bottom when you've got more than one.
That's true. When there's multiple people in the stream at the same time, it doesn't block as much of your face. But anyway, that was great. Thank you to the two of you and to everybody that participated today for their great performances. Keep in mind, it's probably not going to happen with the last minute notice, but I think I would, if I plan more in advance, because I've been, doing Wheel of Shakespeare every Saturday. And then we used to do Eager Beaver. I think ever since Vincent finished the complete works, they haven't been doing it as often, but just I thought to fill the void, it might start to think about continue with Saturday for this, and maybe Sundays, doing a pre-planned reading, a precast reading of a play. So, and I had some ideas, and some people that expressed interest before. We'll keep in touch about that as well. But I'll see you guys all next week for Wheel of Shakespeare. Bye now.